How's it going, YouTube? Yeah, Pat Mack here, coach of the Sacramento Sand/, bringing the draft analysis of Season 7 of the UBL, the Ultimate Battle League. This is commissioned by Automatic, who also runs the website that has been so fantastic for so many different leagues to use. And many thanks to him for the invite. I was very excited to see that I was invited to this league, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play in. There is There's a lot of really good coaches here, and there will be a link down in the description, just like all of the leagues that I have, where you'll be able to see the channels for their leagues. And this is a upload required league, so you'll be able to see all the different uploads that they have. So definitely go check out their videos, whether we're playing against them or if you just want to go check out their channels. Like, there's some really good coaches here, really good players, really good people, and you'll definitely learn a lot from watching them. I certainly have. There's a lot of people that are in this league that when I started my draft league experience, actually I guess from the time of this video going up, and actually from the time of recording, this is when I started. Yeah, this might be exactly when I started drafting in my first singles league. That was the Ocean League. That one's commissioned by Matt O'Shea, and so that was my first experience in singles, and so it's been a year. Wow, it's been a year. That's so crazy. Okay. Anyway, enough on that memory lane journey right there. Anyway, what I was trying to get to was there's a lot of really good coaches here. When I was first starting to understand how to play singles, these are the people that I watched. And they're just really good players. They talk a lot about their ideas and how they play through the games, and I learned a lot about how to build, about how to play from watching them. So, I don't know, it's kind of a surreal moment to be having the opportunity to play against these coaches on a weekly basis in this league. So, very exciting. really, really exciting. So, okay, as you can see here, there was 110 points available, 11 rounds, and it was required 11 rounds. So it wasn't like you could do between 10 and 11 or 9 and 11 or there's no range in terms of the number of Pokemon to pick. Every league does it a little bit differently, but this was set up for ours. I believe the most expensive points value was like 19, sounds right. And then went all the way down to 1, so just so you get a frame of reference. Of course, you can check out the UBL tier list on the Draft ML website if you'd like to. So I don't know, just something to keep in mind. Anyway, okay, we were around middle of the draft. I forget our exact place, but something like 10 or 11 out of, I think we have like 16 coaches, something like that. So somewhere in the middle, maybe like late middle, if I remember right. And yeah, so really excited to talk about our team, and let's start talking about it now, I guess. So first round, I decided to go for Necrozma. Really cool Pokemon. I'd been wanting to try it out for a while. I almost picked it up in YCL in the latest season, just because I think it has a lot of really good options. Like, it's a pretty solid defensive mon, it's a pretty solid offensive mon, like really good attack stats, physical or special. A lot of different sets on it. It has its own recovery, it has rocks, it has all sorts of things. So in general, really like picking up flexible Pokemon, and Necrozma, I think, is that. It's like the epitome of flexibility. It's been compared to Mew at times, obviously not exactly the same just because the stat distribution is a little bit different, but just in terms of the versatility of the mon, like, incredibly versatile. And what I really like about picking this up in the early rounds is that, not only is it just a really good mon, but it also means the rest of my draft is really flexible, and I can pick up Pokemon that can kind of fill all the rest of the roles on my team, and that will free up Necrozma to do anything it wants to. And I think I have a team that does that. Definitely let me know once you've seen the whole team if you think that I've managed to do something like that. But the versatility of this one is just fantastic. So really excited to grab this. And it was very early on that the Snipe started coming. I really wanted to go with Galarian Zapdos as my next pick, and that was picked up around the wheel at the end and beginning of the first and second round. So anyway, so on the way back up, I've drafted Mandibuzz. I had already decided what my next pick was going to be after Mandibuzz, so I was really hoping that that would last until my next pick. But Mandibuzz was like, as much as it's a core piece of the team, it's also wanted to take it away from some of the other drafters that were there, just because it pairs up with so many different things. Like Dragapult was obviously taken, and Mandibuzz pairs very well with that. It just pairs really well with a lot of different Pokemon. So it fulfills a really good defensive option, obviously very good like defensive stats, physical and special, as well as having good HP. A fairly solid speed tier, kind of like in the middle of a lot of the ranges of things, so can give it a little bit of speed to bump over things, and just like a really solid mon. Again, self-recovery just like Necrozma has, and then just having defensive dark types, in my opinion, are just really nice. To have Foul Play is a fantastic move that Mandibuzz gets, and so many other dark mons get, and so like you can kind of use the power of your opponent against them, which I think is kind of nice. Also having pivoting, which is fantastic too, so you can pivot into some of our more powerful threats or some of our setup options or things like that. Also has like, I don't think it's Haze, but I think it's Whirlwind, so I can blow things out to get some phasing options so we don't have to worry about people trying to set up in front of us. And then, of course, that momentum to get into some of our mons. Is there anything else I want to talk about Mandibuzz? I don't know. It's a really good Pokemon. I've used it a couple of times now, and I've enjoyed using it when it's been available to me. It's just a good Pokemon. So anyway, next round, this is where I drafted Tarakion, and I had already planned on drafting Tarakion. It was a matter of, did I want to pick it up round 2 or round 3, and I decided round 3 because I think Mandibuzz would have been taken before then, and I wanted that mon as well. So Tarakion, amazing Pokemon. Like this thing hits super hard. Rock and fighting, pretty hard to switch into. There are a handful of Pokemon or typings that it has a little bit of a hard time breaking, but it's really fast. So like we bumped up our speed tier to 108 now, whereas like Necrozma and Mandibuzz were kind of at the same, like 79 and 80. So we get a little bit more speed, which is obviously fantastic. Those dark moves that Necrozma doesn't necessarily want to deal with, even though it does have Prism Armor, like Tarakion's going to discourage those. Knockoff is, I think, one of the better moves available in the Draft League scene, and so Tarakion kind of stops that from coming. Maybe not doesn't stop, but it's really good into it. So we have that option for our team. Different setup sets, different banded or scarf sets available to it. Like it just has a lot of really good options, and it's a really strong breaker. So we have like really good special breaker with Necrozma, or cleaner, I guess, and then same with Tarakion. So can kind of fill both of those 2 roles, as well as having the pivot from Mandibuzz. So I kind of like the 3 of these Pokemon together, and I've actually used Mandibuzz and Tarakion in the past. I used it in the YCL Speed Tour, and I really liked it. Those Pokemon work really well together, so I'm pretty excited to grab Tarakion here as well. Okay, after looking at this team and the 3 picks I have so far, I wanted ways to like break the things that Tarakion struggles with, and so in my next pick, I started getting toward that. So I grabbed Tentacruel here. This gives us some more speed, and actually from all of these 4 picks, we have hazards galore. We have different rock setters. Tentacruel adds another hazard setters for us with toxic spikes, as well as having rapid spin to remove those. Very good option. One of the things that Tarakion doesn't do a great job with is fairy types, and so Tentacruel helps with that. I think also like bulky grass or bulky water types, I think Tarakion can kind of struggle with as well, so having Mandibuzz to break through the grasses and to break through the fairies with its poison coverage is pretty solid. Doesn't necessarily break through the water types, but it can kind of wall them, and then we can kind of pivot around or switch around or whatever for that. So I liked Tentacruel here just because it gave us a little bit more speed as well as that option to break through the fairy types that I really wanted to have that option for. And not to mention, like, it's just a good combination with Mandibuzz in terms of like physical defense and special defense. Like Tentacruel has pretty good SPDF and Mandibuzz has pretty good PhysDef, so just kind of splitting up our options from that regard. Okay, next round we go for Decidueye. I mentioned about the things that Tarakion struggles with. Decidueye can also help to take care of those water types, so that helps us as well. Not to mention just like the ghost typing I think is really nice here too. It also gives us another pivot, which is absolutely fantastic. The options of having, and it's not exactly a fast pivot either, right? Like Decidueye is a little bit slower, so we have that option to slow pivot into some of our threats as well. Really good like mixed attacking stats, so we can go special, we can go physical, just based on whatever we need for the week. So I was kind of excited to grab this Mon as well. It actually can break through grass types as well, just because it's got like some physical sets that I think can do it with like Brave Bird or yeah, Brave Bird I guess is the one that comes to mind, being able to break through grass types. So that's a pretty nice option to have as well. So pretty excited to try this. So this is a Mon that I haven't used before, along with Necrozma. I think I've used Tentacruel before, and I've definitely used Mandibuzz and Tarakion a little bit, so I was pretty excited to try this one out. I was debating between this and Delmise, kind of a similar vein of like the grass ghost typing being really good, breaking through fairies being really nice with the Steelworker, but I decided I wanted the pivot option from Decidueye, which I think is going to be pretty solid here. And I already had the spinner with Tentacruel, so I didn't necessarily need another one of those, but I think the pivot would have been really valuable. So anyway, grab Decidueye in round 5. Round 6, we go for a Bombi. Now this was mainly because I pretty much had all of my draft planned out after like Tarakion. So like around round 2, I already had a good idea of what I was getting every round. And I realized that like every draft setup I had, I was having an issue of speed. Like my fastest Mon was going to be Tarakion at 108. And like, I think in Sword and Shield, and this is probably all draft leagues, I guess to a certain extent, like I feel like you want to be getting over 110, over 115, like somewhere in that range. If you can get over that, then I think you have a good enough like upper level of speed to help out. And Ribombee does that, right? 124 speed really helps us out there. It also gives us webs, so we do have that option as well. I don't think our speeds are terrible enough that we need to necessarily have webs, but it's an option, right? We bring that other hazard, and so teams need to prep against it, and they need to be concerned about it. Also another pivot, which is awesome. So pretty excited to grab Ribombee here. And again, it's mainly that I think we're going to want to have the webs option with this team, and we just need the speed in general. It does have several different setup options as well, like Quiver Dance is a totally viable set. I think these even has Roost, if I remember correctly. So I can also like Quiver Dance Roost to heal back up. I think Bug, I think when I first started Draft League, I always thought that Bug wasn't a very good typing, but the more I play with it, the more I've kind of grown to like Bug a little bit. I think it's got some nice uses to it, even though it does pack a couple of weaknesses that I'm not particularly a big fan of, but obviously the fairy typing on Ribombee is really nice too. So speed, webs, pivot, Ribombee is fantastic, and I think for that. So okay, next round. We still want to make sure that we can break fairies. We still want to make sure we can break those water types, and so Magnezone is going to do that. Like, this Mon, it's freaking hard too. This is another Mon that I've used in the past. I've mostly used it as like an emulated wall breaker, but of course Magmortar is a fantastic ability too, just to trap the skill types. And if they're still on the ground, right, then we can like iron defense plus body press to kind of win those battles, which is definitely a really good set for Magmortar. But yeah, I've used it as like a spec set before. Like this Pokemon is really hard, really good special attack. Speed isn't amazing, but you know there are ways to do it with webs or with Scarf or whatever, right? So Magnezone is mostly here because I want another option to break through the things that Tarakion doesn't, and so I think this is a way to set up for Tarakion to kind of steal the show every week. And like, Magnezone is a freaking powerful breaker in its own right. Like, this mon, it hits really hard. I'm pretty excited to use it for this season. Okay, next pick. I went with Magmortar. I actually thought that this like price at 4 I thought was a little low. I like the I've used Magmortar. It was on my YCL run, and like it's got a really good special attack stat. Can totally run boots like no problem at all, but I've run it defensive, I've run it offensive. Like, I think it's a great mon. I think it's really cool, and so I thought that it was a little undervalued at 4 points, so I decided to go for it this round. Not a whole lot to say about the mon, just in terms of like, it can be a really good breaker. Flame Body's a really good ability, so I'm pretty excited to use it again. If you've seen some of my other matches on my channel, check out the YCL. I think it was season 3, and you'll see it used a couple of times there. I just think it's a great mon, so I wanted to grab it here. Okay, next round, we go with Drampa, and I actually have Drampa in one of my singles leagues. Or not my singles, I have it in a doubles league. I really want to try it in singles because it gets some more access to moves in singles than it does in PvC, and so I kind of wanted the option of using it. I've enjoyed it in my VGC runs, and so I wanted it here. But of course, like a normal type is always important to have. Like, ghost types are scary, and so normal is good to have. It has its own recovery with roost, so that's really nice too. So it can be a pretty solid defensive mon. Just because like it's slow enough, and slow mon means that you can build more EVs into both, which is nice, and then it can live somewhere else. And then the roost obviously helps as well. And I think, yeah, it actually has the most special attack of any mon on my team too. So like 135 special attack also just means it could be a really solid breaker too. So I was pretty excited to grab it. Glare is obviously a really good ability too. Like, yeah, so it's really good. It helps with some of the speed stuff that our monsters don't necessarily want to deal with. Its coverage is fantastic. This one has, I mean, it's a dragon type, and dragons just tend to have good coverage in general, so Trampa is another one of those mons. I don't remember if there's any, like, weather teams that were drafted for our league, but Cloud9 is a really nice ability to have there too, just to ignore some of the bonuses that teams tend to get from that, which is nice to have. And then of course Sapsipper is really great, and Berserk's really great. So like, I don't know, Drampa's a really cool Pokemon. Pretty excited to try it out for singles. I think, like I said, I actually have it currently in VGC, and I've liked it. I think it's a really cool Pokemon, so I'm excited to use it a little bit more, and try it in a different setting, because singles and VGC are so different. So it's nice to be able to use it in a different place. Alright, next round we're going to round 10 here. And this round I actually got sniped. I was kind of hoping to pick up Golisopod, which I think it was Razor Claw picked up. So I'm definitely going to go over and watch their side of matches, because I really want to see how the Pokemon's used. I was really looking forward to trying it out because it's Pokemon I've never used before. So anyway, instead of that, we grab Articuno, which actually gives us some more speed, so I think it might be better. Maybe. I don't know. But having an Ice type I think is really nice. Articuno is such a freaking amazing Pokemon, just because it's Gen 1, you know? And like, who doesn't like playing Gen 1? So, but yeah, so I wanted a different Pokemon here, but I think Articuno fits here well. It filled a similar role in terms of like not weak to ice while also being resistant to ground, and so obviously a ground immunity is good here, just because my team in general didn't like ground types, so I wanted to have another ground resistant or ground immunity, and so Articuno kind of filled that role. I think ice types just in a general sense are really nice to have if they're offensive, So if we can make Articuno an offensive threat, then I think that'll be really nice here too. If I remember correctly, Articuno has Freeze Dry, which is maybe the best move in the game. I don't know. That's a bold statement, but I think it could be true. Whoa. My cat is upset that she hasn't had any food yet. It's not even dinner time, but you know, she's a cat and she wants food. I'm trying to knock over my mic. Anyway, Articuno, really cool Pokemon. Excited to try it out. I haven't used it before, but I did use or play against it, I guess. Yeah, I played against it quite a bit when I was mocking with Squid for the YCL, and I thought it was a really cool Pokemon, so I'm excited to try it out. The 4x weakness is a little rough, but I mean, it's one of our lower tier picks, so I don't think people are necessarily going to be packing rock coverage all the time for it. So pretty excited to use it. I think it'll be a cool mon to use. It also does have quite a variety of sets. I think it gives us some more pivot, so we have a lot of momentum to get into some of our even scarier Pokemon. So pretty excited to try it out. Okay, and the last pick that we went with, I had my eye on. Most teams had not picked up a ground type, so I had the opportunity of waiting for it here. I decided to go with Sandaconda. I had Sandaconda for the Pack Ubers League, and mixed feelings about it. I think it was really cool as a mon, just because it has like some cool sets in terms of like coil sets, so it has versatility from that mindset. Like it has like coil setup threats, sets, and it also has really good defensive sets, like a really good physical defense set. I think it actually might be the highest on my team. But yeah, so very good physically defensive mon. Coil obviously makes that even better. It has hazards as well, so that kind of pulls away from Tarakion and Necrozma being the hazard setters if we decide that Rocks is the way that we need to go for a week. And then I think Shed Skin's a really cool ability too, so it can switch in on Toxics. Rest is a great set for it, just to be able to heal itself back up. And then just like ground and rock coverage are nice to have on it. Glare, it has Glare as another option here too, so we have a lot of speed control between, like, and not even running a Scarf either, right? Like we have Webs Rabambi, we have Glare Drampa, we have Glare, we have Glare Sandaconda. So we have some ways that we can make some of the Pokemon that we're scared of a lot slower, and so that really helps us here. But I'm excited to try to use it again. That season, I don't think I used it very often, but I kind of want to use it a little bit more just because I think it's a really cool Pokemon. Potentially not explored as much, at least from my mindset. So I want to try it out some more, play some more games with it, and get a sense for how it is. So anyway, so this is the full team, and that's all 11 Pokemon. This is a league that I believe, well, whatever day I'm uploading this video is the day that all the uploads are. I think we're uploading on Mondays. So looking forward to playing against all these different coaches, and I'm recording this before there is a draft recap stream, but I believe there will be one, or was one by the time this video comes out. So definitely go check that out. I'll have a link to it in the description, so you can check out a recap of all the different coaches, all the different teams that were picked, all the different Pokemon, everything. And you'll also be able to see all the other coaches that are in the league. And this is it's a star-studded group. There are a lot of good people here, so definitely go check them out. And if this is your first time checking out our channel, then definitely check out some more of our videos. We have a variety of different content here, whether it is VGC or singles, mostly Draft League, but I'm considering expanding to other stuff, so definitely stick around, like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and we'll catch you in a week for our week 1 battle.